hangers doing in this closet when I told you no wire hangers ever?
Okay, that was a clip from the classic 1981 film Mommy Dearest, and I'm back with Christina Crawford, whose memoir was the basis for the film. But you weren't really happy with that. Was your mother, is that anywhere near the way Joan Crawford actually acted?
Only the makeup.
And the wire hangers?
That was true, but not like it was portrayed. By the way, I did not write that movie.
I know.
And I didn't participate in any part of it. So, and I also don't get any royalties from it. So there's really no reason for
you
me
to talk about it. Absolutely
it.
not. Okay, so your mother cut you out of the will.
Yes.
So at that point, you were sort of getting along with her before that, weren't you? Right before she died?
I had thought so, but she had become a recluse, and she lived in New York, and I lived in California, so I didn't see her for the last couple of years. However, I think that what happened was that language was in there 15 years before, and she never changed it. So what devastated me personally was not the will itself, but the fact that all that work, all that effort to have an adult relationship was for nothing.
Right.
And that was that really hurt. And that had nothing to do with money or the will or anything like that.
No, but she didn't lift a finger to really change it.
No, she didn't, and it meant that it didn't reach her in any meaningful way.
So when she says, you know, they're out of the will for reasons which are well known to them, she was talking about 15 years previous,
Correct.
Not the way you two had been.
Well, that's exactly right. But the will had been changed many times in those 15 years, but that paragraph had never been removed.
I see. But she still wasn't leaving you a dime.
No.
Or Christopher, your brother.
That's right.
What about the other children she adopted? Did she leave them anything?
Something, but not much.
So where did the money go? She had money.
Charity. Well, she had money, but she spent money on herself primarily all her life. And at the end, it went to charity.
Was she?
Well, that's a good thing.
Was she cheap with you? Was she, you know, not spend money on you?
Well, no. I mean, from the time I went to boarding school until the time I was 18 and left home, there was absolute minimal. I mean, sometimes she didn't even pay the school bills, but she never gave us any meaningful money. And the irony of all that is that people have so many fantasies, Joy. So the public and a lot of other people that should have known better thought, you know, we were the privileged few, and that couldn't have been further from the truth.
Right. And you know, it's interesting, when Mommy Dearest came out, the book, and of course then the movie, a lot of her fans were angry with you, weren't they?
No, not so much the fans, the people, the old people in Hollywood that had seen what happened and never did anything, and they had a guilty conscience, so they had to do something.
Yeah, there were people who knew about this.
Everybody knew.
People.
Everybody knew.
And nobody said anything to the authorities or tried to intervene to stop her from beating you and being so evil to you and your brother?
That is correct. Well, first of all, there were no laws to protect children at that time. That's what I've worked on very hard. And so now we have that. We have reporting systems and laws, etc. But the other part of it was they were all connected in some way to the studios, and they were afraid of losing their jobs.
Wow. Wow. And by the time they were free of that, you were too big
Well, that's
already.
right. But so that's a very important part of the story and the film and documentary that we're doing next week at the Snapple is about coping with abuse of power. And it's really hard to do as an individual, but more and more people are having the courage to stand up and do it.
Okay, we're going to show a clip from the documentary. Before we do that, I want to ask you a question. Do you forgive her now?
It's not about that. It's about accepting what happened and moving on with your life. And forgiveness is a two-way street. Somebody has to ask to be forgiven for forgiveness to take place.
Well, they say that you need to forgive people who are evil to you because it's better for you to forgive them.
And that's a myth.
I agree with you. I don't buy it either.
All that does is enable the perpetrator to go scot-free.
Exactly. It lets them off the hook.
That's right.
Some people deserve a grudge to be held indefinitely.
Well, some people deserve justice, and they don't get it.
Right. Okay, let's watch a clip from your documentary, Surviving Mommy Dearest. Let's watch.
I never knew the fun-loving, Charleston-dancing, artistic, risk-taking actress who thought she could freely follow a personal lifestyle devoid of censure as she had in the roaring 20s of her youth, influenced by a lifelong friendship with her mentor, William Haynes.
So what else is in the documentary? Tell us a little bit about
Well, the
it.
documentary is called Surviving Mommy Dearest, and I'm on stage also. I introduce the show.
Sounds
and
great.
I come on several times to give insights to the documentary, and then at the end I do questions and answers directly from the audience. So there's interpersonal, non-scripted questions and answers, and it's a lot of fun. That's me. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
But it's about the years that it took to form a life that wasn't based on either her, the abuse, show business, or anything else, that it was truly an authentic life. And it took a long time, but I think I've succeeded.
Well, you sound like you really turned a corner, a big corner in your lifetime. And
Yes.
I'm thrilled for you.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
happy for you.
Thank you.
I mean, you know, you were dealing with somebody who was an alcoholic, who might have been mentally ill, and there you were, a victim and trapped there.
That's right. And every time I almost succeeded, she tried to destroy my career. And so the third time I thought, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to do something else with my life.
Oh, that business of going in the soap opera to do your part when she was like, you know, 25 years older than you.
Well, more than that, yes.
And
yes.
she was playing an ingenue.
And I was in the hospital recuperating from a very serious emergency operation. And there I was watching the screen. Oh my goodness sakes, what has happened to us? Oh,
she was like delusional and grandiose and narcissistic and bipolar and all of that. Carpal tunnel syndrome. She had everything. You know, Shirley MacLaine's daughter has just written a book, you know, and she talks about how she pushed her to have sex. Listen to this one. While Shirley was with sex therapists in the next room, the girl was a young teenager, I think. Well, I mean, what is up with some of these Hollywood mothers?
Well, you know, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Wow.
And a lot of people that are rich and famous and powerful, it's not just Hollywood, it's politics, it's sports, it's the military, it's everybody. They think that the normal behavior and the law doesn't apply to them.
Yeah.
And as a society, I believe we have to hold them accountable for the behavior that they choose to do.
So if a celebrity came to you and said, I'd like to adopt a child, what would you say to them?
Be careful. Really think it through. Why? Why do you want to adopt a child for you or for the child?
Yeah. I know you don't like the movie, but I like the part of the movie where you say, why did you adopt me? Because probably it was going through your head. You're hitting me. You hate me. Why did you adopt me?
Well, it was a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
And I never got an answer. But it was basically, I knew it was for publicity.
Right.
I was the perfect blonde, obedient prop.
Right. And so was Christopher.
Yes.
And didn't she pass them off as twins? And you weren't, right?
No, it was the next.
Oh, the next group she did that. The next.
The next group.
Oh my God. Well, you've survived beautifully.
Thank you,
and
Joy.
I'm so pleased to have met you.
Thank you.
And good luck to you.
Thank you.
And you can catch Christina in person at a screening of Surviving Mommy Dearest. That sounds like so much fun. Followed by an Q&A on May 8th through the 12th at the Snapple Theater Center here in New York City. And you do it elsewhere too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next up.